Welcome, everybody. So tonight is our 27th annual Peace Prize here in Newburyport. And yeah. And so my name is Amr Ibrahim, if you don't know me. I'm the current chairperson of the Newburyport Human Rights Commission, and it's my honor to preside over the event here tonight. I want to welcome everybody here tonight and thank you again for attending. I know it's a busy time of year. It's a nice day outside, so we really appreciate you coming in and taking the time to honor all these really just wonderful people tonight. So this Peace Prize event ceremony, for those of you that may not be familiar, is an event that is a long-standing tradition in Newburyport, and we are excited to have you join us again. We emerged today for our first in-person Peace Prize since the COVID pandemic, so I think that's a big accomplishment. So like I said, this is number 27. It would have been 28 if it wasn't for the pandemic. We didn't have a Peace Prize in 2020, and then in 2021 and 22, we were fully virtual. So again, tonight, we're here really to celebrate students from Newburyport and as well as adults who have been chosen by their respective schools and the community to receive a Peace Prize. So these students for the student prizes are being honored because of their willingness to speak up, to be inclusive, to value differences, and to welcome somebody new. Whether leading quietly by example or by using their voices through their actions, each of these students model respect for others and help create a peaceful atmosphere in their respective schools. The students are allies and mediators. They resolve differences amongst their peers and their role models in the classrooms. They are our future leaders, and we are proud to have the opportunity to honor them tonight. We will also celebrate one of our fellow citizens tonight and also a local citizen group as well. These adult award winners teach, write grants, write plays, write sermons, organize groups, establish programs. They serve the support the underserved, they mentor, they speak up, they stand up, and they engage the community in their peaceable activities. Each award winner, students and adults alike, embodies the mission of the Human Rights Commission to uphold the human rights of all persons in Newburyport by promoting and supporting a sense of welcome and inclusion, and also working to eliminate prejudice, intolerance, discrimination, and acts of hate in our community. Before we get started, the Commission would like to make some thank yous. So we would really like to acknowledge and extend our profound gratitude towards the Jabberwocky Bookstore and Amy McLaughlin Flowers. The gift certificates for the student winners were generously donated by Sue Little, the owner of Jabberwocky, an amazing little book, it's actually not little, an amazing big bookstore in the Tannery. A big round of applause for her generosity. And then the flowers that you see here that will be given out to the award winners were donated generously courtesy of Amy McLaughlin Flowers, a very nice flower shop on Route 1 just beyond the train station on the Newbury-Newburyport border. We again extend our sincere thanks for her support as well. I also want to acknowledge the Kids for Peacemakers and Friends for Peace as well. They are technically the fundraising arm for the Human Rights Commission, and without their support, we couldn't run or sponsor many of our programs. Round of applause. And then I've got a whole list of other thank yous that I'll try to get through quickly here, but with this type of big event, unfortunately, there's a lot of people pitching in and helping, so a lot of thank yous, and I want to make sure everybody gets recognized. So we want to thank the schools in our community for nominating these special young people to be honored tonight by the Human Rights Commission. Thank you to the principals, directors, teachers, and faculty for participating in tonight's ceremony and for the dedicated work you do to support the city's youth every day. Thank you also for the families of the students honored tonight for nurturing such outstanding and amazing young people. And thank you to Mayor Reardon, Superintendent Gallagher, the principals, and again the faculty of the Newburyport area schools for their support of the commission and our mission. I want to specifically call a shout out tonight to Bruce Menon, who put forth the brunt of the effort in making this event possible. So in his first year on the Human Rights Commission here, he took on organizing one of our two largest annual events. He went above and beyond and helped make this event such a success. He was supported by Ben Harmon, one of our newest members, who was instrumental in getting our printed materials, the programs, a lot of the IT work, running around doing last-minute things for us, as well as Kat Preftis, who our prior chair, who had done what I'm doing tonight and served as a model and a mentor for me, also for helping run around, tie up loose ends, make sure we didn't forget anything. And then Kathleen Shaw, who I think I saw Kathleen here as well, who is our longest standing Newburyport Human Rights Commissioner, who just really knows everybody and everything and just helps us pull it all together and is always willing at the last minute to run around and help us when we realize that we had one of those moments where, oh no, we forgot something, and Kathleen comes to the rescue. So as we begin, I want to introduce you to the current members of the Human Rights Commission, and I ask those who are present to stand as I acknowledge them. So we've got Jean Costello, the Vice Chair. We have Katie Nye, who couldn't be here tonight, Ben Harmon, Bruce Menon, Shane Koff, Jen Groskin, who's with the 8th graders at their Philadelphia trip. We have Alex Matthews, our clergy liaison. We have Kat Prefts, our multicultural and outreach liaison. Kathleen Shaw, who's our most tenured member and our community liaison. We also have Superintendent Gallagher and Lisa Furlong, who attend almost every Human Rights Commission meeting. And go ahead and rise quickly for a quick round of applause. If we have any former Human Rights Commission members present in the audience, feel free to kind of raise your hand or stand for a quick shout out there. And then I just want to point out, too, we do have a couple of vacancies on our commission. So if people are interested in the work that we do, feel free to join us for one of our meetings that occur the second Thursday of the month at the Newburyport Senior and Community Center. And if you're interested in joining the commission, feel free to submit an application to the mayor's office. Any city councilors or city or state officials present. So if we have any folks here from an official dignitary type standpoint, feel free to raise your hands, be recognized. I know it's budget season right now, so they're doing a lot of budget work actually downstairs below us here. So grateful to the council and everybody else in city government who's been so supportive to our efforts. And then as we support and celebrate these students tonight, I would like to quickly call another shout out to Superintendent of Schools, Sean Gallagher, that I saw somewhere here, right there in the back row. So Mr. Gallagher and his team have been great supporters of our work over the last 5 or 6 years. As mentioned, Mr. Gallagher, Ms. Furlong, and others from the Newburyport Public Schools regularly attend our Human Rights Commission meetings. We have developed a strong and trusting relationship over the years. Mr. Gallagher is also a member of our city's DEI Alliance, and in his free time, you'll often see him in town not only supporting his students and his staff, but supporting HRC and DEI events. Thank you, Mr. Gallagher. And then now it is my great pleasure to introduce Newburyport Mayor Sean Reardon. So Mayor Reardon has been a staunch supporter of inclusion and diversity in our community, from working on diversifying our boards and commissions to supporting the work of the Human Rights Commission and the DEI Alliance. We are grateful to the mayor for his support in this arena. We will, for the first time this year, have a Pride Parade as part of a week-long Pride celebration in Newburyport this year in just a few weeks. This is hosted by a newly formed Pride Board that is supported by the Mayor's Office and the DEI Alliance. The Mayor has also been a foundational supporter of the city's Juneteenth and Indigenous Peoples Day celebration. Mayor Reardon will be presenting the Peace Prize certificates to our recipients tonight. And Mayor, let's have a few words. Thank you, Mayor, for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. God, what a great crowd. These are the events I absolutely love to go to, right? You know, we have so much great work going on in the community. So it's funny, someone grabbed me on my way up here tonight, and I was like, oh, wow, I saw you were getting honored tonight. He's like, yeah, it's nice getting recognized for something that you should just be doing. And it's funny, but it's sad, too, that I wish it was that easy, right? So I think that's why it's so important to shine a light on these examples. And I love that it's, you know, adults and our students here, and that school connection with our community, I think, is so important. And, you know, we are trying to do a lot of good things here throughout the city. You know, my son's here tonight because one of his friends is getting an award. But what a great example for the rest of the community, right? To have this light shine on our youth leaders, you know, from Bresnahan School all the way up to high school that are doing such incredible work. And it's work that everyone should be doing. It's about being kind. It's about being inclusive. It's about getting involved. And that's why I love that these Peace Awards are back after after a few years hiatus due to COVID. And it's weird. I feel like it's funny that we're still doing that, but we're still trying to come back from that difficult period. So things like this, gatherings like this, that we can all come together and celebrate what's really great about our community and some of the people that are leading that effort is pretty neat. So again, thanks for coming tonight. Congratulations to all the award winners, and again, thank you to the HRC for all the great work that they're doing here in Newburyport.
Thank you, Mayor, for those inspiring words. So as we get into the main event tonight, the Peace Prize awards here themselves, I would like to give a few, let me see if I've got all my stuff here. Yes. A few little directions of how, when we start doing the awards, how we'll do things for logistics. So what we'll do is once we get into the awards themselves, we'll go by school, and we see the order up here on the program, so we'll try to stick to that order as long as everybody's here. And what I will do is I will call up either the principal or the director of the school to introduce. Then that individual is either going to read the nomination form or designate one of the teachers or instructors or who nominated the student to then read the nomination letter. Once we hear the inspiring words of why that individual is nominated, we'll call that student to come on up to the podium to receive their Peace Prize and gift certificate from the mayor. And then the students that are coming up are welcome to bring their families as well. So once you get your award, then we'll have you move over to the right side of the podium facing, from my point of view or your point of view when you're up here, left side there. And then there'll be an opportunity to get pictures taken, and then we'll kind of move on through. And then once we're done with the adult Peace Prizes, we'll take a quick break, and then, student Peace Prizes, then we'll move on to the adults. And we'll have a couple of creative interludes, too, in between. So we'll start with the first interlude here so that we can spare you guys from hearing me talk anymore. We have one of our 7th graders, Sam Parr, who's a cellist at the Knock Middle School, and he's going to play a song or two for us. I want to say thank you to Miss Kathy Shepard for hooking us up. And Sam, if you want to come on up to the stage, we'll get you ready to perform. So here we go, Sam Parr. I'm sorry, Sam, we don't have a mic up there. What are you going to be playing?
The Bach Cello Suite.
The what?
The Bach Cello Suite.
Bach Cello Suite? Okay. So for those of you that couldn't hear, Sam is going to be playing the Bach Cello Suite for us. Thank you, Sam. Wow, that was amazing. Thank you, Sam, and appreciate you doing that. And Sam, actually, on 3 days' notice, was willing to come out here and perform for us in front of everybody. So that was just fantastic. Let's see. I think we are ready to move on to the awards here. So let's get the main event started. So if we've got Mayor Reardon, if you want to join us up here to hand out the certificates, and then Kat will be helping out with flowers, and we'll start first with the River Valley Charter School. And if we have Miss Allie Fields from the Charter School, come on up and introduce your student.
Hi, welcome. Thank you. I just want to say first that I tried to play the cello a few years ago, and it's so hard. Sam's really good. I'm so short too. I'm also presenting for Lucinda Cathcart. She's Katie's advisor at school, and she couldn't be here tonight, but I was Katie's teacher in elementary, and so it's an honor to present to her. Katie is an activist from the time she wakes up until the time she goes to sleep at night, at which point I imagine that she dreams of the difference that she wants to make the next day. She is committed to using her voice for that change, and does so powerfully and with a kindness that transcends age. She is passionate about women's rights and has been independently creating a slideshow of women activists throughout history. At this point, she has researched and written about over 100 women. For an assignment called the Inspiration Project, she presented about protests throughout history and the difference they made in the world. Since COVID, she has been active with an online group of students that are trying to educate others and promote issues of racial and social justice. This year, they are focusing on issues and struggles of the LGBTQ+ community. She shares the work that she does and the issues that she is passionate about in a way that is inspiring rather than pedantic. At school, she is a student government representative and a member of the GSA group. Katie is a friend, an educator, and a leader.
Congratulations, Katie. And next up, we have the Francis T. Oh, yes, no. Immaculate Conception. The Immaculate Conception School. So we have presenting for the IC, Joan Sullivan, principal. Welcome. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. What a wonderful opportunity to acknowledge just children who make good choices, because we certainly need that in the world. Our first award recipient from Immaculate Conception School is Ailsa Carmesiano. She is an exceptional student who is serious about academics and passionate about horseback riding. Ailsa takes it upon herself to provide support and service to her classmates and her teachers, and service at Immaculate Conception is very important to us. She volunteers and assists in her classroom and all the time in all classes, and as the seventh grade class secretary, Ailsa keeps records of class discussions, classroom jobs, and ideas and themes for different events. Ailsa also demonstrates solidarity, compassion, and the friendship to everyone in the school. She is a teacher, she is a leader, she is a role model for the students at Immaculate Conception School. Ailsa has been awarded the Citizenship Award at the IC several times over the last 2 years, which is an honor awarded to students for exceptional conduct and effort. Ailsa's love for horses is infectious, as is her dedication to kindness, which truly represents the Immaculate Conception School Pelican spirit. Congratulations, Ailsa. Our second recipient is Declan McCarty. Declan McCarty is a kind and joyful student who has a high level of respect for his teachers and classmates. He excels academically and never takes an opportunity for granted. Declan is friendly to everyone, helpful, and often speaks up on the behalf of other classmates, coordinating and contributing with great ideas for all events and activities. He is a high-achieving and compassionate, empathetic for others. Declan proposes logical solutions to problems and difficulties as they arise in the classroom, helping to solve problems and to resolve conflict. Declan McCarty is a student athlete. He practices and competes with team spirit. He has a moral and ethical compass that is respected and admired by his schoolmates, teachers, and Immaculate Conception School administration. Congratulations, Declan. Thank you. I should have brought my reading book. It's dark in here.
Thank you very much. Great, thank you, and congratulations to both Elsa and Declan. And then next we have the Francis T. Bresnahan Elementary School, got it right this time, and we have Pam Jamison and Jamie Sokolowski. Thank you.
All right, thank you all for being here tonight. It's great to see you all, and I see some Bresnahan faculty members here and also some Bresnahan families in addition to our award winners, so thank you for attending. We have about 600 amazing children at the Bresnahan, so it's hard to choose who to nominate for this award. We have 3 values that we work towards every day at the Bresnahan, which is be safe, be kind, be responsible, and many of our children show that every day, and we're truly proud of all the children at the Bresnahan. The 2 students we're honoring tonight stood out for their consistency and for being quiet leaders amongst their peers. So I'll introduce Pam Jamison to hand out the first award, and then I'll read the second.
Thank you. Okay, so the first award goes to Greta Lees. Let's see if I can say her last name correctly. Trivalu, did I do that right? Greta and I practiced today in the art room. Is a Bresnahan Elementary School student in grade 2. And I am the visual art teacher there, where I see over 600 students, as Jamie mentioned, all week, every year. Greta is nominated for the Peace Prize because she consistently represents integrity and peace. And here's what I observed. This school year, Greta endured a physical injury, and I just thought, this is really significant to her hand that she writes with. And this hardship did not stop her from behaving with calmness and focus every day at school. She was eager to swiftly return to school following her surgery. She continued to be peaceful in spite of this while creating her artwork. Before this happened, you would observe Greta maintaining excellent appropriate behaviors, which Jamie mentioned, that are of a student role model, which is kindness, respect, and responsibility. Greta speaks with kindness and has a fun way with her words, and it's the words that matter. When she's communicating with you or her classmates, that's what makes you feel at peace. At her young age, she does not compartmentalize anyone and welcomes all her classmates during many interactions at school. She is calm, and she has peaceful communication. And one last thing I thought about her today, I thought she doesn't fix blame to something, she fixes the problem. So she works through the problem and not fixing the blame on people. And so I'm so happy to give her this award.
Okay, our second award goes to Cole Wilson, who is the second grader in Miss Clegg's class. When reading about the Peace Prize Award, Cole Wilson is the student that automatically comes to mind. He embodies all of the attributes and qualities of a Peace Prize recipient. His teacher, Miss Clegg, says that Cole is consistently a role model in his classroom. He comes to school every day with a smile on his face, and he is always the first to jump at an opportunity to help his peers and his teachers. He is patient and kind with everyone, and he is always ready to include others, both in the classroom, at recess, and during their special time. He shows our Clipper values every day in the way that he treats his friends and the teachers in the building, the way he walks through the hallway quietly and respectfully, modeling for others, and the way that he invites his peers to play with him during recess. Cole is an amazing friend to everyone who will go out of his way to make sure people around him know that they have a friend they can turn to. He is an outstanding student, and we are so happy to nominate him for the Peace Prize this year.
Great. Congratulations there to both Greta and Cole. Next, we have the Mullen Upper Elementary School, and we have Kathy Volpone. Is that correct?
I'm Lee Curtis Prey. I'm the assistant principal at the Mullen, and I'm proud to present my two staff members, Katie DeCoste and Kathy Volpone, to present the Peace Awards to two outstanding students that also represent being responsible, being kind, and being safe. I will tell you about both of these students. Kernan, it's actually ironic that I'm here presenting Kernan with this award because we had an epic kickball game, and I actually kicked for Kernan, and I got out every single time. So in retrospect, Kernan probably should have just kicked for herself. That probably would have been better. But that being said, she exemplifies everything. We talk about the Mullen way, and she and also Brock exemplify the Mullen way. As far as I'm concerned, Kernan's a warrior. She takes every challenge on like nothing. She exceeds every expectation we've ever had for her. And then we have Brock, who is the Mr. Negotiator, and talk about a peacemaker. I mean, this kid, he does a great job. 5th grade, it's a tough time for kids, and not all kids make the best choices, but Brock has a great way of being an amazing kid, but also encouraging other kids to make great choices. So I'm really proud of both of them, and we have some lovely speeches for both of them, so thank you.
Good evening. So it was my pleasure to nominate Brock for the 2023 Peace Prize. Brock consistently embodies the Mullen Clipper values of respect, responsibility, and kindness. He's a scholar, completing all his schoolwork, modeling good learner behaviors with thoughtful questions and responses. In addition, he willingly shares his knowledge with his classmates in discussions. We often partner him with students that need support or a different explanation. He's patient and kind, and he cheers for all his classmates when they master a new skill. Brock is known by his classmates to be passionate about protecting marine life, and particularly loves researching whales and dolphins. On his own time, he'd been working on a project to host a sports tournament for the whole school. He wrote a 3-page proposal for our administration detailing how we could run a tournament equitably and took into account those students that might not want to play. Brock is polite and respectful to both classmates and adults. Most important, he understands that mistakes are a part of lifelong learning. He has a wonderful sense of humor, accepting and laughing when he makes a mistake, or helping others to see the funny side of learning how not to do something. Brock is a leader and a friend that helps others to realize their potential.
Hello there. I write this on behalf of the team of teachers that works in Kernan's classroom, Madison Coder, Anne-Marie Day, and myself, Katie DeCoste. So I read this on behalf of the 3 of us. So Kernan shines a light of positivity wherever she goes. She is a positive peer role model for other students in the classroom as she advocates for her point of view or supports a peer's point of view. She models active listening skills by using some of her peers' comments to reinforce her own remarks. She participates enthusiastically in morning meeting activities with her classmates, keeping their spirits up with positive feedback. When someone's comment seems confusing, she paraphrases it collaboratively so it's clearer for her teammates to understand. Kernan seems to be a natural coach. Without sounding bossy or demanding, she teaches peers how to use bands properly for stretching during movement breaks and provides reminders when she sees they're needed. She shares tips with her classmates, like how to frame the title of one's writing by inserting relevant emojis. She uses her voice to offer hints or tips for success, like her own PSAs, public service announcements, always offered with authority, but with a big smile. Kernan joins in games of freeze tag and Foursquare, then advocates and invites others welcomely to join in the fun. Kernan is an active community member of the Greater Newburyport Children's Chorus and Youth Council. Our opportunity to get to know Kernan this year has shown her to be a 4th grader who is fearless and not intimidated to try everything we have presented to her. She has seemed self-assured enough to speak up for something as minute as the correction of the wrong digit Mrs. Day has written on the board, or something larger, like redirecting her peers back to their project and to stand up for a peer who was misunderstood. She has been a wonderful addition to our classroom community, and we are so honored that she's being recognized tonight.
Next up, we have the Rupert A. Knock Middle School, and we have Principal Nicholas Marcos.
A little wobbly up here. Thanks everybody for having me tonight. It's great to just be back live. I think Mayor Reardon expressed it. We're very grateful for the Human Rights Commission, all the work and support that they contribute to the school. So I know I'm very pleased and grateful to be here to honor a few of our students. It's just great to hear, my fellow leaders and teachers as they talk about, the Bresnahan values and the Mullen Way. At the middle school, we have what's called the knock advantage. So you can imagine in middle school having home court advantage. It should be useful to you. But unfortunately, sometimes the knock advantage or home court advantage is kind of like what the Celtics are doing right now in the playoffs. It's a little bit inconsistent. But these 2 students that we're going to talk about tonight are essentially they're on the home court every single day, working hard, exemplifying the PBS knock advantage mantra. So our first recipient is Zachary Bell. Zach has demonstrated the following this year that makes him a deserving candidate for the Peace Prize. He shows empathy for others, has respect for adults and peers, discusses serious issues in serious and professional ways, models exemplary behavior without negativity towards his peers. Zach is a class leader and supporter of all peers in group environments. He understands his peers' circumstances and points of view and is sympathetic, empathetic, and respectful of others without compromising his own values or stances on issues. He's a team player and is involved in community events and team sports such as baseball and football. He has also found a passion for humanitarianism and human rights while studying the Holocaust and genocide studies in classes this year. Zach models the knock advantage of respect, responsibility, awareness, and kindness every day. I am proud to announce Zach Bell as a 2023 Peace Prize Award winner. Our next recipient, Juliet DePasqua, AKA Jules, is an all-around kind and helpful classmate. In our community and classroom, she is one of the first to include someone in a class activity. Her inclusivity goes beyond the classroom as well. She is that dynamic and helpful member of the cast of our recent musical, Oklahoma, and could be seen assisting classmates and adults alike. Jules is also a member of our school council. She can always be counted on to voice her ideas and serve as a positive and effective leader. Recently, the Student Council has been working on how to edit the lunch menu, as well as organizing Teacher Appreciation Project. She strives to make our school a more inviting and inclusive learning environment for all. Jules always demonstrates cooperativeness and is a valued member of the Knock community. Jules has a bright future because of who she is at the core. She exemplifies the Knock advantage and our Clipper values on a daily basis. Again, I am proud to announce Juliet DePasqua as a 2023 Peace Prize Award winner.
Next up is Newburyport High School, and we have Principal Andy Wolf and Vice Principal Mike Testa.
Got to put this a little lower for me. But thank you for having us here tonight, and thank you to the Human Rights Commission for organizing this event. And as a school administrator, and with Mike Testa here tonight, our associate principal, it just gives us an opportunity to pause and just really reflect on what our students have accomplished across the school year. And we're really appreciative for the partnership the Human Rights Commission has provided for us and providing us with a model, as we've done a lot of work at Newburyport High School to continue to strengthen our school climate. And our two students tonight really just embody the spirit of the Peace Prize Award, where they have just provided just a great model for their peers, but then also giving us a foundation to build upon for years. With Sasha, with the work that she's done, with the Bring Change to Mind program, and really working to destigmatize mental health, which has been, especially a big problem over the past few years, especially. And then Jasmine, with the work that she has done to build our ambassador program, which is really about welcoming all of our newcomers to Newburyport High School and to the Newburyport community, and making sure that they feel welcome and included in everything that we have to offer. So I'm very excited that they will be awarded with this tonight, and Mike is going to go into a lot more detail about what they have accomplished. Thank you.
Sasha Layden is a junior at Newburyport High School who carries a really rigorous academic load. She's currently enrolled in 2 advanced placement courses and is taking an online college course studying criminal law. But as Andy said, it's not that academic work that really sets her aside and distinguishes her for this recognition tonight. It's the leadership that she has brought towards our chapter of Bring Change to Mind. Bring Change to Mind is a national organization who works to empower young people to join in the fight to end stigma and discrimination surrounding mental health issues. Sasha is the president of Bring Change to Mind and also sits on their national advisory board. She started this school year kicking off a fundraiser to help raise awareness for mental health. She collaborated with our football program to make this event happen. She distributed bracelets and stickers in exchange for donations. She raised over $500. In turn, she took that $500 and created a cookie decorating event during the school's Flex Block, in which over 200 students participated in, bringing more attention to the cause of Bring Change to Mind. This initiative was covered by the local newspaper because she was thoughtful enough to reach out about the event. Most recently, Sasha took the lead in bringing in a team of therapy dogs to the high school. She did the work and she did the research, and she found an association called the Alliance of Therapy Dogs, and from them she obtained a list of local certified handlers. Just 2 weeks ago, May 15th and 16th, she had a team of 5 dogs in on 2 consecutive days, just for the kids to hang around and play with them during lunchtime and just kind of chill out a little bit. It was great. I was in there both days, by the way. And we look forward to another round of therapy dogs visiting us on June 8th, which is a day before our final exam, so very timely. In addition, Sasha holds a job at a local business called the Basin Apparel. Sasha's passion and dedication to Bring Change to Mind caught the attention of business owner Karen Al-Khatib, who happens to be present tonight. Karen generously offered to partner with Bring Change to Mind and donate a portion of the proceeds from the whole month of January to benefit the club, which will help further raise awareness for the good work that kids like Sasha and Bring Change to Mind do to our school. Our chapter was invited to participate in a mental health fair at North Andover High School this year, and they reached out to us after seeing the press and the daily news. Sasha's work has contributed to a positive school environment where students feel welcomed and valued. It is my pleasure to honor Sasha Layden tonight for one of this year's Peace Prize awards. Jasmine Al-Khatib is a senior at Newburyport High School who plans to attend Salve Regina University with an exploratory undeclared major. Jasmine is interested in world languages, writing, and different cultures. Jasmine has been a student ambassador at Newburyport High School for 7 years. The intended role of an ambassador is to welcome new people and help lead tours during open house or showcase nights. Student ambassadors pretend in a summer training to be equipped to run our opening day for freshman orientation. In her role as a student ambassador, Jasmine also supported multiple events, including our families and students, including Back to School Night, Showcase Night, and our College and Career Fair. Last school year, Jasmine went above and beyond in her efforts to welcome new students and contribute to a positive school community. In 2021, when a number of families arrived to Newburyport from Afghanistan, Jasmine immediately embraced our newcomers. She was a smiling face for these students who were going through so much change in their lives already. Jasmine used this as a springboard for continued engagement with our Afghan students. Over the February vacation break last year, Jasmine coordinated an outing at the Graf Rink where staff and students joined the new students to go ice skating. During April school vacation break, she organized a picnic in downtown Newburyport with the Afghan students. Jasmine is a member of our Peer Mentor Club, where she has led numerous activities to support her peers, including fundraising for the club and the community. Jasmine entered high school with a vision and an academic focus. Throughout the pandemic, she demonstrated resilience, working tirelessly so she could accomplish her academic and personal goals, but doing so while showing caring and empathy for others. I am honored to recognize Jasmine Al-Khatib.
Congratulations to all the student prize winners here. Amazing, amazing job. And as we transition to our adult Peace Prizes here, we'll have our second creative interlude here. I'd like to welcome Nadia Toth and Evni Martino up to the stage here. They're going to read some poetry that they've written for us. And so thank you for being willing to present here for us at such short notice. And Evni, sorry about making a typo on your name up on the program there, so my apologies there for that. But come on up and take the mic.
Hello, I'm Nadia, and this is my poem that I folded comically small. So, give me a moment. Okay, this is True Peace. In the realm of serenity, where tranquility resides, I weave my words with purpose, seeking peace as my guide in this chaotic world. Where shadows cast their spell, I choose to be an upstander, breaking the silence's shell. In the tapestry of existence, where colors intertwine, I am but a thread, yet when our purposes align, no longer as mere bystanders, passive and unseen, we're together with conviction. We embrace what peace can mean. In the face of injustice, we won't remain confined, for silence can be a weapon. The foe of humankind will speak for the voiceless, defend the weak and frail, unfurling a banner of peace that will never fail. I see the battles waged, the strife that fills the air, yet I refuse to surrender, to resort to despair, for within my voice lies power, the strength to rearrange a world that fosters hatred and demands a change. Let us rise, united, and bridge the gaps we see. Peace is not a distant shore, it dwells within you and me. Together, as upstanders, we'll weave that tapestry anew, and with understanding as our compass and harmony as our hue, when dissension takes its hold and tears the world apart, we'll not retreat or cower, we'll let compassion fuel our hearts, for true peace is not a distant dream or a lofty aspiration, but a choice we make each day, a profound dedication.
Hello, I'm Evni Martino, and I'll be reading my poem, Potluck. Just the other day, I heard a woman in the terracotta concourse speak to another, maybe no one. She said, my wedding would be a potluck. I pondered the idea then, that romantic notion. Holy matrimony is quite frankly the last thing on the mind these days. Perhaps love has become a privilege rather than a right. The scene unfolds. There are Pyrex bowls cracked, hairline fractures adorning their peachy facades. Mourning doves look in through the windows, admiring us with their dark and complicated eyes. To them, we are dark and complex. I am dressed in white, others in black, looking sophisticated as if they could manage their own funerals. I begin to wonder when the world lost its color. Now we are the birds, now we are in a cage, and still all these years later we've yet to sing. We've allowed ourselves and each other to be cast apart. Our bodies and souls drift away. We're all strangers now. No one knows that Stonewall was a bakery before a bar. The smell of daily bread still permeated during the riots. Smoke rose as if by sourdough starter. No one thought to step in through the thick fog of injustice as if the bricks were miles away and problems for another. If only we could learn how to trust one another, to share a load from the moment that dawn bloomed, bearing humanity upon her rose-red fingers, we were fated to be broken. The value of a life, of a body, remains still an unspoken hush. Because what is this life, if not a gathering, a potluck of sorts? Bring your bread and roses to the dinner table, bring your oranges and sweet nectarines and wine richer and bolder than whatever's coming. And we will dine, as fragile as the bowls we hold in our hands, yes, but believing we can return with solidarity stronger than stone. Thank you.
Thank you very much there, Nadia and Evni. That was amazing. And next we will move on to our 2 adult Peace Prizes. So our first adult award Peace Prize goes to Prince Boateng, and his award will be presented by Superintendent Sean Gallagher.
Just amazing. I so fortunate because listening to our kids on a daily basis, we're in good hands with this generation. So as I retire, it's very important to me that these guys will be fixing all my problems. So thank you. They deserve a round of applause. Incredible, incredible students. So as I was picking out my attire for a Peace Prize, I felt I used peaceful colors, but I think I look more like an Easter egg. But next year. It's just an honor to be part of this ceremony the last 5 years. I know we had a break for 2 years because of COVID, but I think this is one of the most special ceremonies and recognitions that we do as a community. For many times, a lot of times we emphasize could be athletics, being the best, scorer, or being the best musician, or being the top scholar. But what people forget about that, but people never forget when you lend a helping hand. People will never forget when you're kind. So those are I think the characteristics that this generation, these students, and what we teach every single day. And that's what's going to make the world a better place. So as I get to present some of the adult winners tonight, those same attributes really resemble, I think, both the adult awards. So I'm very honored to present Prince Boateng with the Human Rights Commission Peace Award. You may have seen Prince running around the community as he's an ultra-marathon runner, which I didn't even know there was such a term. I had to look it up, but it's actually someone who runs over 100-mile races, so I think you might need some of those therapy dogs after this. I don't even drive 100 miles in a week. Oh, that's not true. But it's likely you've literally seen Prince running around Newburyport and the North Shore on the roads and training for his next big race. But what you may not have also seen him do is running around the community, utilizing his boundless energy to help others, especially those in need and those that are less fortunate. He is a coach for the Newburyport Youth Soccer Alliance and a volunteer at the Bresnahan School Build Our Kids' Success, or Books program, an early morning program designed to use movement to teach young people habits that promote both mental and physical health. Prince also serves as Newburyport as a member of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Alliance. He's also a member of the Jenny Geiger Board of Directors and a member of the Newburyport Public Schools Superintendent Advisory Council. Members of all of these organizations describe Prince as a valued member whose strategic, creative, and compassionate approaches make a real difference in all of their work. Prince's work in the community extends beyond the city of Newburyport. It actually extends around the world. Being a commander in the Navy Reserve on active duty for the past 20 years has put him in a position to help reform and implement procedures and policies for international food and humanitarian disaster responses by the United States military. He works internationally with USAID and all of these issues as well. Additionally, he's the founding principal of AgroFiles, an organization that connects business development and capital resource partners to farmers, which builds a marketplace for lenders to impact loans to farmers in developing countries. Their mission is to allow both farmers and investors to prosper from their partnerships that they cultivate. By cultivating relationships both locally and throughout the world, Prince Boateng models what it means to be creative, to create a diverse and compassionate community. I'd like to close with a few words from the people that know Prince the best, his family. They say this: he is an amazing, devoted father who is authentic and gets it. He is the best. For his commitment to the people and to the peace at every level of his work, the Human Rights Commission is proud to award Prince Boateng a 2023 Peace Award.
And our last award tonight goes to a group. So our next award is being awarded to the Wolf Club here in Newburyport for their actions in supporting our LGBTQ community. Their award is being presented by Marianne Vesey.
Thanks. I'm so glad I can just barely see over this podium. I want to thank all the awardees just for your passion and for the work you're doing, because we really need you in this world. And I'm just so glad to be a part of this tonight. It really is inspiring. So I'm going to talk about the Wolf Club. It can sound so trite to say that people have managed to turn lemons into lemonade and that they are allies of disenfranchised groups. But it's hard to find a better way to describe the establishment of the Wolf Club. In the spring of 2022, the Masons in Newburyport agreed to allow their lodge to be used by LGBTQ+ youth for a dance which included a drag queen as an MC. When this became public, a South Shore politician pressured the Boston Lodge about it, at which time a high-ranking official there tried to cancel permission for the local dance. The Newburyport Lodge held firm with their agreement and convictions, while also providing security for the dance. For this commitment to their values, many of the local Masons were suspended, expelled, or reprimanded by the organization. This was an incredibly painful experience for people who had devoted many years to a group which espoused morality and charity. The rejected group took their pain and formed a new organization defined by the tenets of camaraderie, charity, and equality. Since forming in the summer of '22, they have donated much time to organizing a variety of fundraising events for marginalized groups. Most recently, they became one of the sponsors of Newburyport Pride, took bystander intervention training, and agreed to serve as safety and security staff for a variety of Pride events here in town. Many people think they are allies when they agree with the positions of others. It's a whole other level of meaning and commitment to invest money, time, and actual work at events for these groups. This is when people go beyond the performative show of allyship and truly walk the walk of their values. This fully describes the Wolf Club, and we are a better community for their presence. Thank you.
So congratulations tonight to all of our Peace Prize recipients. Well done, everybody. I think it's really just amazing to stand here and just to hear everything being read out and all these wonderful people being recognized. And I think it's amazing the turnout here too. It looks like we really have almost every seat in the auditorium filled, which is fantastic. And on a nice day at this time of year when the weather's nice, school's ending, and everybody has so much else going on, I really appreciate everybody coming out to attend the ceremony. So before we bring this ceremony to a close, we also wanted to say a few words about two people who were instrumental in promoting much of the peace work with kids here in the Newburyport area, Margaret and Merle Forney. Bruce Menon will now share some thoughts with us.
wanted to thank all of you for attending this wonderful and deeply meaningful community celebration. In the past year, 2 people who were instrumental in planting the seeds for this event passed away. And since we're celebrating tonight, I wanted to take a moment to introduce them to you. They're Margaret and Merle Forney. In full disclosure, I met Margaret and Merle and their daughter Julie, who is here tonight with her sister Carol, when Julie brought me home to meet the family in Silver Spring in the early 90s. They were welcoming, compassionate human beings. They're probably 2 of the finest human beings I've ever known. Like one of our honorees tonight, Prince Boateng, Merle Forney was a veteran. In World War II, he served with the legendary 10th Mountain Division. Quite a decision for Merle, who was raised in the Church of the Brethren, which was a peace church. Margaret also came from a pacifist spiritual tradition. Merle always maintained a deeply abiding belief that peace is both a fundamental right and a community responsibility. When he and Margaret moved to Amesbury from Maryland in the early aughts to be with their grandchildren, our daughter Linnea and son Noah, they immediately became active doing local peace work for the next 15 years they spent in this area. Their idea, which reaches its full flower tonight, was to teach kids about peace, to give them a voice so that in turn they can teach us how to move through our lives with peace, with respect for every single person. You can see how their ideals are realized here in this event. Merle and Margaret were instrumental in forming kids as peacemakers. For many years, responsible for inspiring and working with kids to create the colorful and very poignant original murals that appeared all over Newburyport and the surrounding area, in front of churches and businesses and schools. Kids talking about peace, showing us and reminding us. Merle and Margaret understood exactly where the future of our community could be found. They were involved early on in the Peace Awards. And even to this day, Kids as Peacemakers continues to support peace projects like this one. We celebrate a great deal tonight. These kids who are living a life that honors and respects all, who practice kindness, who have the courage to stand up for others. We celebrate their families, who teach and support them to live such meaningful and contributory lives. We celebrate their educators, who are deeply committed to these students and who serve as role models for clarity and decency and kindness. And we celebrate Merle and Margaret, who will always walk beside these students as they walk with their own children, Julie, Chris, and Carol, and their grandchildren, Corinna, Noah, and Linnea. Their beliefs are so strong, they still serve this community. They imagined a future for these kids that has a welcoming place for all of them and all of us. Now that's a legacy. Thank you, Margaret and Merle.
Thank you, Bruce, for those inspiring words there. And as we've heard time and time again tonight this evening, this year's Peace Award winners are really applying their education, dialogue, and knowledge to humanity to overcome differences. As such, they serve as models to emulate and inspiration to us all. And I think tonight, with seeing both students and adults recognized, we see that progression of how students that learn these behaviors, model these behaviors, and emanate such just goodwill and being, as Bruce likes to say, good human beings at a young age, then progress to adults like we've seen here that then continue to do that in our community. And I think just we're really blessed to have all of you in our community here tonight. It's really just heartwarming to see all of this. And again, just really thank you to everybody for coming out. Now, given what we've heard about all these amazing members of our community, too, I would like to share a quote written after World War II by Pastor Martin Niemöller that still is very pertinent today and seems particularly fitting. There may be times when we are powerless to prevent injustice, but there must never be a time when we fail to protest. To remain silent and indifferent is the greatest sin of all. Just as despair can come only from other human beings, hope, too, can be given to one only by other human beings. So we have a tradition in our Peace Prize ceremonies here of having Kathleen Shaw, our longest standing member, close out the program with inspirational words of local abolitionist and suffragist William Lloyd Garrison. For those who may not know, the Friends of William Lloyd Garrison, a group in our community, hosts an annual William Lloyd Garrison lecture each December around the time of his birthday. This year's lecture is actually going to be Thursday, December 7th at 7 p.m. at the Old South Church. Good time to play number 7 as your lottery number. The speaker will be Dr. Carrie Greenidge from Tufts University, and I encourage everybody to check out this event in December as it approaches. As I invite Kathleen up here to the podium to close, I thank everybody again for coming. Appreciate the attendance tonight. Thank you for sharing in this great community event. We're just so excited to be back in person after 3 years hiatus. And once Kathleen's done, feel free to mingle and enjoy some refreshments right over here where we've got some snacks, some beverages, some gluten-free snacks that are also marked for you guys. Thank you again. And take it away, Kathleen.
You don't have to go very far to find this quote. You basically go down the stairs and across the street. It is on the base of the statue in Brown Square. Neither God nor the world will judge us by our professions, but by our practices. I solicit no man's praise. I fear no man's censure. The liberty of a people is the gift of God and nature. I am in earnest. I will not equivocate. I will not excuse. I will not retract a single inch, and I will be heard. I want to congratulate all the recipients today, but I want you to go, as William Lloyd Garrison, when you leave Newburyport, go out and spread all the good work you have done so far. It's amazing, and we all thank you. Good night.